I had a question about the name you gave the Facebook group, and I suppose I'm going to acknowledge here. What am I acknowledging?
I was just trying to be clever. I was trying to use phonetics. I was just trying to make it sound interesting.
Give me a minute, because I'm feeling my way through something. Because what I want to query is the word philosophy. Is that a bit of annoyance?
What, to people that don't know what they're signing up for?
Me. I'm going, what reaction am I having? And I think the reaction I maybe had is a bit of, oh, for goodness sake, why has she called it philosophy? It's not philosophy, it's poetry. So I suppose... So
I am start with a fuss.
So I am starting a slightly challenging question there. Because I'm going, oh, she's not telling people it's poetry because she thinks they don't want poetry.
Yeah, I'll be honest, there was a little bit of a degree of that. A lot of it was me trying to think of a name for that group that might grab people's attention and therefore say yes. And it took me bloody ages to sit down and think about that. And my life would have been a lot easier had you told me what to call that group. I'll be honest, hands up right now. Had you said, right, we're going to do this on this date. Steph, I need you to set up an event. Why don't you call it this? Why don't you, I'm going to email you something to copy and paste to put in the event description, and essentially have a Word document that you email me, and I can copy and paste the bits that I then put in that event, which would have saved me a lot of time and made my life a lot easier, and would probably have been a far better and closer description to what it is that you're actually offering people. Because I stumbled for ages trying to create that, and then spent ages afterwards worrying about, had I done it right? Was it a good description? Was I actually going to grab people's attention? Were you happy with it? Were the people I was coming happy with it? And my kind of decision at the end of it is that chances are nobody was fucking happy with it, including myself. So I think you'd be much better off emailing people, say, when you create your event, I'm not telling you what to do, but I am offering you a solution when you create the event in Facebook, or you create the description in Instagram, or you tell people on Twitter that this is your event and to come. Here are some things for you to copy and paste to use to make your life easier.
I'm giggling. Thank you.
Please.
It was really helpful and interesting to hear you say that. The reason I'm giggling is because actually the thing you're saying you want is a thing that I have given to every other host.
Thanks, Rach.
The other hosts that have events kind of set up. So there's 4 of you, 2 that I've done, you, and then the next host that I'm going on to. For all of them, because we were talking about, and it comes down to how people have decided they wanted to do kind of ticketing.
Okay.
So all of the other events are ticketed events.
Interesting.
One of them was pay as you feel. The other 2 were buy a ticket.
Okay.
So for the pay as you feel, we did it still as a ticketed event, but a free ticket through an online platform. So gotcha. Each of them got was an event page with a description of the show. Basically, the
gumph.
Me as an artist too, because it is very interesting to hear you talk about the process that you went through, because it is exactly the process that a artist goes through when they are marketing a show, of making the stuff, of like obsessing, of worrying.
Yeah.
Like you describing making that event page is something I absolutely recognise from when I was starting to learn how to promo shows. And is something that I am now much more comfortable with, having gone through that process. So the good news is that you have, but you have now had that experience, and you now kind of know how to create some kind of an event. It's a shame the event you created was one that didn't get attended, but even when it fails, it works. Because even when you try something and it doesn't work,
you've learned something.
And when...
See, this is why, if I was to do it from afar, and I was to do this for you in Cambridge, I'd be a lot more comfortable selling tickets to people online, because I'd be able to get hold of people that the people I know in Cambridge, and I'd be able to sell them even if it was a free ticket.
But you're going beyond your network again, because what I've seen work is digital hand to hand. So I give the women, here is a digital Eventbrite page with a link where they can go and book their ticket.
Yeah.
What those women are then doing is just handing that directly on to their
network
circle of people.
Yes, please. Perfect.
And they're not going beyond their circle. They're not, because you said if I'd gone to those TAs in person, they'd probably be here.
Yes.
Because I sent an all staff, they just deleted it.
Yes. But if you were to give me the event that you had created, I would then target the people I know, Ruth being a very good example, because I know that she and I enjoy these sorts of things, and I know that she has other friends who enjoy this sort of thing. So Ruth is a very good example. I would target and say, Ruth, can you please share this on your Facebook page for me?
But why not just Ruth?
Because I would then try and avoid the problem we had yesterday. Whereas if Ruth shares it on her Facebook page, we're more likely to sell more tickets and therefore not have the problem we had yesterday.
But what we're talking about is two ways of doing it, and one is casting your net widely, which is what the all-star female does.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is still casting the net widely. It's still going, Ruth, people out there who I don't know. Why are we worrying about the people out there who we don't know when we've got Ruth right
because
here
I only know 4 people in Cambridge.
Okay.
And you want at least 8 people, so I'm going to need the help of people I know in Cambridge to get more than 4 people.
Or Kat and Maxine's performance. Maxine owns the house.
Okay.
Kat is the tenant.
Okay.
Kat is my personal link.
Gotcha.
So at that show, there were Maxine's pool, but there were also Kat's pool.
Gotcha.
Now, actually, what you're talking about with Ruth is a slightly, like, I'm going, hang on, why are we trying to cast the net widely? But maybe what we're not trying to do is cast the net widely. What we're doing is buddying up there.
Yeah.
Don't cast the net widely, but do share.
Yes.
And rather than, because you're just kind of handing over to her, but if you're like, no, wait, because I can bring my 4 people, but if one of those is also a co-host,
yes,
then she can also bring
her 4 people, and then you've got the number of people you need. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'd need to do.
But it's useful to talk about it because I think there is an important difference between, and it's to do with the level of connection that you're going, can you just share?
Yeah.
Can you show this to everyone?
Yeah.
But if you don't say that to Ruth, if you say, I really want to do this, and I've got these 4 people, that's not enough people. Do you think that you also have
maybe you want to change the way you're marketing it? Because people who would look at it and say, oh, I'd love to do that, but I've only got 5 friends who are interested. Whereas if that buddying system was explained somewhere in the hosting part, I'd be more likely to sign up to do it.
Well, this is one of the things that I'm still working out how to do, because it is a new thing. What I'm kind of meeting in you is a different system, which is absolutely understandable because you're working how theatre works. That's what you've seen, that's what you know, is like, we make a thing and then we tell everyone about the thing and we want as many people to come as possible.
Yeah.
And actually, and what I have failed to do is to clearly state this is not that.
Yeah.
Because through conversations like this, I am still getting the hang of what this is. And once I can do that, once I can say this is what this is, people stop mapping on it because it is intimate it is a girls' night, it is a small audience. It might be as simple as just saying to people, this is a small
the
audience
idea of this is that it is a small, intimate...
And actually, in part of how I sell it, that is one of the selling points, is this is not theatre as you know it.
Yes.
This is someone who comes into your living room and sees all of you and talks personally to each person in that room.
Without freaking them out.
Sometimes freaking them out.
You might not want to admit that.
It's there in the bump. The bump says something like, it seems a bit scary, but don't worry, there'll be wine.